All right, it's going to be dark, sorry, but I just got to do this when I can. I don't know how many of you are football fans. Oh, first of all, let me just say hello. If you are a first-time watcher, gosh, you're like, all I see is a black screen. There's a street light. Can you see my face? If you're a first-time viewer, not all my videos are this poor production value, but I'm super busy. Hollywood guy, locked down by the shutdown of Hollywood because of the coronavirus, etc. But so I've got 2 jobs that I've taken on, which eat up all my time and pay me very little money. One of them is a Hollywood-related project. It's a low budget movie that I edit in my free time, and then at night I work at a warehouse. All right, so this channel, Sovereign Artsakh, is my daily portal to the world, talking about what's most important on the planet, and that is sovereignty for the nation of Artsakh. Again, if you're a first-time viewer, you may say, what are you talking about? Sovereignty for Artsakh represents freedom and justice for everyone in the world. There are countries in this world that don't believe in human rights, right? That individuals are created in the image of God. I mean, that's the template we use in our country, that every person is equal in the eyes of God. We're not all born the same, right? We don't all have born in the same circumstances, same opportunity, but our country allows for that. Democracy allows for that. Sovereignty in Artsakh is the only solution to the violence going on over there. Okay, all of that to say, I am going to use a football analogy for the current political scenario in the United States. I don't know how many of you like football, but the 2017 Super Bowl was an anomaly. It was the New England Patriots against the Atlanta Falcons. And it was unusual for me. I try to watch the Super Bowl every year. And at that, my step-grandmother had passed away. And so I was out of town visiting, helping to pack up her house. She had passed away. And I was with my uncle, who's not really a sports fan, and my kids, and we were moving stuff. We happened to get away and escape and watch the game. I'm a huge New England Patriot. I was a huge New England Patriot fan. I guess I'm a Tom Brady fan. So if you are a football fan and you either love or hate Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, greatest quarterback. I mean, he's got the most Super Bowls, etc. All right. So this Super Bowl, the Patriots were getting destroyed by the Atlanta Falcons. They were in the third quarter. For non-football fans, there are 4 quarters in a football game, 12 minutes each. It was like 8 or 9 minutes into the third quarter, which the game is more than half over. It's almost like more than 2/3 over, or roughly 2/3 over. And the Patriots were down 34. No, it was 29-3 or 28-3. The Patriots were down 28-3. 25-point deficit. So that's the biggest deficit. There's never been a team to ever come back from 10 points down at halftime. So in the Super Bowl, there's never been a team to recover and win a Super Bowl if they were down by 10 points or more at halftime. And so I was kind of despondent, depressed, game over. Like, the Patriots were getting destroyed. And then there was a turning point. Statistically, literally, it was like a 99% chance that the Patriots were going to lose. It was like the statisticians were calculating it the whole time. And it got to 99% chance that the Falcons were going to win and the Patriots were going to lose. And I was about to go take a shower or go do something. I was about to I don't even want to watch the rest of the game. And everything from that moment on, and there's an article, I was trying to find it, but I read an article right after that Super Bowl where a guy analyzed every single play, every second of the remainder of the game, where literally everything had to go right from that point forward. Everything had to go perfect from that moment forward. And as we know in sports, that just doesn't happen. But it did. So it was an anomaly. Everything went right. Patriots score a touchdown before the end of the third. They go into the fourth. They end up tying the game, forcing overtime, which has also never happened in a Super Bowl. They tie the game, go into overtime, and end up winning in overtime. And it was the most exhilarating if you're a Patriots fan, and the most depressing and despondent if you're a Falcons fan game I've ever seen. And it was a Super Bowl. And because I worked at Entertainment Tonight, I worked at a TV show at the time, we had it on file. We could watch it. And I watched that game like back to back, like 4 times in my spare time at work. I'd stay late and watch the game again. It's like, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe this happened. And so the reason I'm using that as an analogy is that's how the election feels right now. In the middle of the third quarter of that football game, I thought it was over and I wanted to stop watching. And because I firmly believe that Donald Trump is the best hope for America and for sovereignty for Artsakh, I've been getting a little despondent. I thought everybody thinks the game is already over. Everybody thinks it's a foregone conclusion. Even yesterday, the electors voted for Joe Biden, and everybody thinks that's it. That's the last thing that the Constitution requires for the president. But that's not true. The last thing is January 6th. Technically, even not January 6th, but it's not until the vice president reads the electors and officially certifies it or something like that, that the new president is sworn in. So this was feeling like the middle of the third quarter, down 28-3. But the Patriots had something that kept them in the game. It was like a 0.3% chance that they could still win. It was never a 100% chance they were going to lose. It was like a 0.3%. And that 0.3% chance was what? Tom Brady? I was thinking about what the analogy is. Was it Tom Brady? It's not Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's system, right? Brady and Belichick, the coach of the Patriots, have been together forever. They'd won Super Bowls together. Belichick is just this revolutionary coach, or just this, they just had good chemistry. So it's Brady, his talent, and Belichick's coaching ability. I have to turn around here because I made a wrong turn. So that's what, there was always some glimmer of hope. And then they won. So what is the equivalent to the Brady-Belichick connection that gives hope that Donald Trump will pull through? What is that? It's an executive order, and I should have looked up the name of it, but the executive order that President Trump passed or signed in 2018 about foreign election interference. It was a midterm election, and they detected some foreign interference, and so Donald Trump signed an executive order which, once foreign interference in an election is recognized definitively, that sanctions would immediately kick in, and there's a whole bunch of things that the president can legally do as a result. Well, that moment the executive order has been in effect. Like, it never went out of effect. It's like an emergency executive order, and it's a state of emergency. So we've been in that state of emergency since 2018. And so now we just had an election. So this is the first big election for it to really apply. What was included in that executive order was a 45-day window where all of the agencies will do an evaluation and report on whether they detect election interference by foreign nations. Well, tonight, the report, the DNI, which I think stands for Defense, DNI. It's a government office. DNI Radcliffe, John Radcliffe is the guy in charge of it. He just announced through CBS, I think they gave CBS the exclusive, that it has been definitively determined that China, Russia, and Iran were all actively involved in election interference in our most recent election. That triggers a bunch of stuff. I mean, today is kind of a milestone. I think that it doesn't mean Donald Trump is going to be the president come January 20th, but it means you have Tom Brady and Bill Belichick everything has to go right from this moment forward, right? The evidence has to be presented. So it feels like maybe the Patriots scored that touchdown before the end of the third quarter. All right, that's where we're at. I was about to tune the election politics out Gosh, can you even see me? I pulled into a parking lot. I was about to tune the election news out and just focus on my work and focus on this channel. But now it's like, I have to watch. I have to keep watching because everything has to go perfect. And sometimes it does. When the law is on your side, when really what has to go right is the nation has to rally around and recognize and agree that there are enemies that are trying to undermine our way of life. That's it, right? It has to be confidence in our system. And for them to release it to CBS, I think that's strategic. I think that's wise because like they've given exclusive to other partisan, like they gave an exclusive to Breitbart.com when Texas announced their lawsuit, and that's a ultra right biased news source. They released this through CBS, which is a mainstream news organization which tend to be to the left. But I think it was wise to do that because now people can't ignore it. All right, this is, I mean, it feels like something just cracked open. I mean, I just heard about it within an hour. I'm recording this right now, less than an hour after hearing the news. So, if you're a patriot, as I am a Patriots fan or was a Patriots fan, but if you're an America fan, we can win this game. Share this video. I forget to say that earlier because a lot of people tune out before the end. Share this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I am going to have another video tonight about what's going on in Artsakh. I told you it wasn't over. I told you some bad things have happened, and I told you, and I'm going to talk about it in the next video I post.